Set up all the things that I gotta set up. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we're streaming. Got the stream up on one screen. Open up mini meters over here. Get this thing out. And put this down here. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Oh, I suppose I want to see if I can get my Osmos synth actually to work with pigments and whatnot. Which means I'm gonna have to restart Ableton. I lied, everyone. I'm sorry. Because shit be stupid sometimes. New live set. No, don't save. And then while this loads, let's listen to. Oh, it's already loading. That was so fast. I've been super interested with gamelan lately. I'm trying to like study and learn. What's up, Nicholas Clark? Oh, you're the same Nick as the Jim Halpert profile picture, Nick. I remember. You got multiple aliases. I'm super interested in gamelan in general, just structurally. So I've been trying to like learn a lot more about like musicology in general and ethnomusicology and just like basically music theory from entirely different cultures, right? Because like the way that other cultures even study or analyze or think about or compose music in is completely different from ours, like even from like a foundational level. Oh, what's up, other Nick? Yeah, I called you out. I knew it. So I'm trying to learn more about that because I want to synthesize new genres, new worlds, like world building, essentially, right? Like, I mean, in effect, like a lot of video game music does it, you know. So like if you're playing like Legend of Zelda or whatever, you're gonna hear music from a bunch of different cultures, all like kind of like jammed into one to try to like capture the sound of whatever that like made up culture is, right? And in effect, that's what like Orientalist music is, you know, like when people go to an Arabian desert, you're gonna hear like a double harmonic minor or like Phrygian scales or whatever. You're gonna hear like augmented seconds and stuff as an interval, and that's the sound that we in the West have associated with the desert, with the Middle East. But that's not at all what it sounds like. It's an invented fantasy version of what we think that land actually sounds like. It's a fantasy, right? It's a cool sound, but it's not like accurate. But I find that premise really interesting of inventing fantasy lands or music for another culture, another world. What would an alien culture on another planet, what would their music sound like, you know? And it extends far past just like a funny scale, right? There's also entirely different structures that work within it. So like rhythm cycles tend to be something that's used in most different like cultures. So like Indian classical music, you know, everything like revolves around a rhythm cycle. It'll be like 16 beats as a rhythm cycle is like the most common one there. It equates to our 4/4 rhythm cycle in, you know, the West, right? And there's always emphasis placed on like the downbeat in the rhythm cycle, and there's different rules depending on where you are in the cycle, if you're near the end, if you're in the middle, at the beginning, whatever, right? Those rules can vary culture to culture, and exploring what those rules can be can, I think, lead you to coming up with like interesting new rules that will lead you to creating new forms of like really deep, intelligently created music that won't be obvious at first until you like actually like study it. So gamelan, for instance, the most important beat in a lot of gamelan, I don't know if it's in, there's like multiple different types of gamelan depending on like where you are in Indonesia, but some of it, the most important beat is the last one. Like on the very last beat of every rhythm cycle, a gong will play, and so like all the tension builds to the last beat, and then that plays, and then it restarts. So it's just like swelling effect as opposed to waiting for the downbeat, which has a great release. There's like this constant swelling and build. I don't know, it's interesting. So like not only are the timbres and the instruments super alien to what we're familiar with, the scales are also super weird, the types of melodies, the interlocking patterns, and then the structure that they're working within is all very different. And I just want to explore more of how all that works. I need to explore, I mean, there's so many different like musical cultures in Africa with like really interesting forms, and I gotta study more of that. It's all super cool. Anyways, we're just gonna do like, I don't know, sound design and stuff like that. That's the idea here. But I've been on a ethnomusicology like rabbit hole lately. I don't know, that premise is interesting, and I've always just been interested in I suppose that type of sound where you were like, you know, melding different like cultures and sounds and genres together and stuff like that, right? You know, like there's like tabla and udu drums and stuff like that in my music, but also like synthesizers and like, you know, normal like hi-hats and shit. Like I've always been about like using instruments from different cultures. So like if I could better understand how those different cultures use those instruments, maybe I can like expand on or learn new ideas within it, right? Right? Bad. Anyways, I want to create I want to make like an ongklung kind of sound. That's what I want. A limited number of voices. How do I get more? I want more voices. Just dropping out. I can hear it dropping out. Holly 8, Holly 32, man, come on. And then let's see if I can get the synth to work with pigments. That'd be pretty cool. Link. Control surface. It looks like it's not getting picked up. Are you not plugged in? Did I not just like plug you in? I restarted Ableton and everything just to do this. And you're gonna be a big old fucking baby about it? Come on. I kind of forgot how I'm supposed to do this. I have to do this, exit, MIDI. You're supposed to be fine, man. I don't know what your deal is. Hardware, velocity. Yeah, this should work. I don't know. Ableton's not picking up the keyboard. It's a bummer. Input channel, launch key, MK2. Yeah, no, the osmos is not detected. Whatever. What does this vocal thing do? Okay, it just like mildly changes. Pretty cool. Well, shit. None of my keyboards are working. I wanted to record out stuff with the keyboard. Guess we can just draw in notes. Here, let's make this microtonal. Because that's the move here. How do we do this in pigments? Macro tuning. Import, load SL file. I seriously need to make it so I don't have to do this every time. And then tuner. Here, let's play a note at C3. We're playing C flat, it says. Let's add. It thinks I'm playing an F. Really? That's fucking stupid. Let's make this not a sample. Just verify. Okay, so that's loud as shit. But also the sample wasn't tuned. The microtuning didn't apply to the sample. That's really weird. Either way, we can just like okay, you're so fucking loud. I don't know what your fucking problem is. Let me turn this guy on, and then we just have to offset this by the same amount, which is 0.216 semitones. Some shit like that. Perfect. Yeah. Here, let's, we want to scale, right? What kind of scale do we want? I mean, to begin, let's do a hobbled scale, because I'm a big fan. We'll look like that. And then we just need to shrink one of the notes. We're just going to choose one of the notes to fuck with. I want this to be... I think I'm gonna fuck with this note. Because I want this to be Phrygian. So we're gonna treat this as our root. And that means we're gonna shift this up. And then honestly, where's F here? We'll set this to F. So this is gonna be our scale. So friction, how does friction work? I mean, we're like inputting noise constantly, but it's taking a long time. Oh, there we go. What the fuck is happening to my CPU? Is my... Oh, our sample rate's all fucked. Right. Right. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Weird shit is going on. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I was like, why does it sound like a foreman? What's up, safety break? It sounds like a foreman because I just happen to be playing. I mean, yeah, they're all like fucking perfect fourths apart or whatever, right? Or close to it, and they're all sine waves, and the way it decays out, it sounds like I'm going ow. Which is cool, I say. Mm. Mm. Okay, so we got a thing. Can I just get like, I want a gong. Give me just a big gong, man. We're just gonna synthesize a gong, that's what we're gonna do. Synthesizing a gong. How you do it? So how do you synthesize a gong? Well, for one, there's gonna be a bunch of overtones. And they're gonna... And they're all gonna be inharmonic as fuck. Yeah. We're gonna give it a bunch of reverb. A little bit of delay. Right. And then, I don't know, saturate it too. And then let's set that to 6 seconds, but then this one will be like way longer. That's not gonna work. And then let's add another one. Different inharmonic interval, just some random shit. And then you're gonna come in like even slower. Slowly filter in, and then we bring in this stuff, right? And then what else do we bring in? Want some like really cool modal textures and stuff like that, which like I suppose we can resample the Anklang sound. Right. No, not delete it. Okay, so we have this. And you technically, a bandpass filter is, I fucking hate the auto filter, man. I can't not do it. A high resonance bandpass filter, that's modal, right? Kind of like definitionally. So if we make this go all right, and so we can like crank the fuck out of this. I guess we should make this sync to the grid. I'll make that synced. God, this fucking autofilter is so miserable now. Cool. Now let's just bounce in place. And then let's get a roar disperser. Randomize. Did duplicate that over? Is that what I wanted? Yeah. Yeah, let's cut the... Cut that. What's up, Jade? Cut all of that. Maybe I can add drums here. I don't know if I want to do drums in this. It's kind of like this weird kind of orchestral building, trippy, whatever the fuck. But I do want to add like some impact, and I kind of want to use a kick for that. We're gonna use the kick, the one I use on everything. And then, oh no, we're in 6/4. I didn't know the song was in 6/4 the whole time. I guess we're in 6/4, okay. Is there an easy way to switch out of 6/4? What's the easiest way? Is that even possible? Unrelated stream, forgot to ask. You got decks today. I didn't know if there's any good sample packs for scratching, or can you just Google scratch tracks? I mean, there's like some like certain quintessential scratching sounds. Like there was the R sound. And I don't know, there's just a couple like really popular ones. And what am I making? I'm inspired by gamelan, which is Indonesian like orchestral kind of crazy shit that features like a lot of gongs and stuff and inharmonic timbres. And I'm really just interested in the premise of like world building in terms of I want to create something that's like never been heard before in more dimensions than one. Like not just like crazy sound design over like an electronic beat. You know, that's just electronic music. We've all heard that before. Even if the sound design is something you never heard before. I want it structurally to be something new. So like, I don't know, I've just been reading about and mind you, I'm not doing that here. But it's been on my mind, and so that's informing like what I'm kind of trying to make. but I've just been reading a lot about like gamelan, which, you know, Indonesian music, and their approach in music theory is completely alien to anything that, like, you know, we are used to, and has been developed like entirely separately. Like for instance, their rhythmic cycle, right? Like let's say they're in a 16-beat rhythmic cycle, which is like pretty much 4/4 over here. The heaviest downbeat in their cycle is actually on the very last beat, at the very end, as opposed to, you know, everything is on the downbeat on the one in Western music. Same thing with like Indian classical music. Everything comes together on the sam, which is the one, right? So like structurally, it's totally different. So like the timbres are totally different. The scales and the tuning is totally different, as well as like structurally, there's so much more shit going on. Certain like instruments and orchestration, like the roles that certain instruments play serve a higher purpose than just like being a sound. It's like a signifier for an event that's happening. And I think that premise is super cool, and I need to like learn more about all that shit, because like ethnomusicology, or just like the study and becoming familiar with like different music cultures, just is music. It is music theory. The music theory that all different cultures use is as relevant as like the music theory that like entirely only Westerners use. So you ought to learn how everyone fucking makes music, because if you want to make something novel, you should learn about how, the things that are novel in every single discipline and culture, and then use that all for inspiration, right? Anyways, that's been on my mind. So what I'm doing here, I don't know, it's microtonal. We're in 23 notes per octave. I'm using a lot of pigments with the modal synth. I made this like this thing. It's like kind of like an onclang, but it's like very metallic sounding. So I don't know, it's like gongs and shit. You know, I got gongs on my mind. And then we got, yeah, inharmonic FM synthesis creates, you know, like stick gong sound, whatever. Inharmonic shit is cool. And then I made a gong using more inharmonic FM. Now, my question is, okay, I accidentally made this in 6/4, and I don't want my timeline to look like this. I want to make this 4/4. But then that breaks everything, man. Why? How do I want to shrink everything. Just change the BPM and keep everything in the same spot. Is that too much to ask? You know? Oh, it's my fault because I opened up a template where I fucked with the time signature beforehand. Hey, you got a gong? Hell yeah. Yeah. I remember my old coworker. I had a coworker when I worked at Dolby, and she was a gongster in that she owned, like, honest to God, like 50 gongs. Like, she had external store, like her house was just filled with gongs everywhere. And she had like external storage with just a fuck ton of gongs, like massive gongs, small gongs, all sorts of gongs. She was just all about it. Gong obsessed. It was so cool. Fuck, I want a gong. I was setting it to 4/4. Oh! You're smart. Yeah, I forgot I can automate it. I can automate 4/4. And then I still have to fucking correct all of this. And then what do I do? What do I do here? I'm gonna make you like that. I'm gonna make you like that. And then we're just gonna automate the BPM to totally change. Yeah, I think that's the move. BPM. We're cheating. Wait, if we go from 6/4 to 4/4, what, I'm gonna want to increase the tempo by 4/3. I don't, let's just make it fucking 120. Except we wanted to go in the opposite direction. And then you just gonna everything's all fucking weird now because I made this in a stupid way. It's fine. Stop being stupid. Oh, right. We're in 4-4. So it doesn't need to be stupid. We can just go like bam. Oh, okay. We got gongs. And then I don't know, we can take a voodoo. You think that would work here, maybe? Oh, be like... And then I'm just gonna take like a totally different... I have no other things that work as like a full loop. This is stupid. This is dumb. Where was I? What I got so distracted. We had some like cool fucking melody stuff, right? Take all this, put this all here. Let's find take those, put that here, mute it, right? And then we consolidate all this, and then go like bam. But it's still fucking stupid. Right, kind of a thing. It's a vibe. It's something, man. We're doing something here. All right, let's make this different. Use the good auto filter. What do we want now? I want a flute. want a flute. Flutes are sick. I mean, I can make kind of a shitty flute if I just set this to noise. Bunch of voices, low amount, give it a tiny bit of odd harmonic. And then harp. I mean, like that kind of works in of itself, right? Desperately waiting for UVI. Yeah, I did buy it. So I bought UVI World Suite like a year ago or something.
What's up, Samurai Owl? I like your name. I bought UVI World Suite
Fucking yeah, like a year ago, because it's got a bunch of really cool sounds, and I'm like all about using, you know, like world sounds. And also it has MPE compatibility, so you can like MPE tune some stuff. So I was like, oh, word, it's gonna be perfect for microtonal stuff. And it turns out like you cannot. I mean, I haven't tried in a while, but I don't think I can make it actually work with weird divisions of an octave without like the most painful process of manually retuning every single note I write in MIDI. So that was kind of a bummer. So I don't really use it that often. I just want like a plug and play easy microtonal like contact sampler UVI thing, you know? What plugin am I using? I'm using Ableton stock instruments and stuff. This guy I made with pigments. Right? But it's mostly... kind of like how an overtone flute. Oh, that's a flute for sure. That's cool. Okay, so F. Version 3 came out? What? Well, UVI World. I think I have 3. I think that's the one from like a year ago, right? UVI Workstation. What do we got? What do we got? World Suite 3. Yeah. No, now like you can do MPE stuff, but the problem is like if I want to use I don't know. Let's grab a Mbira sample. Like they all sound really cool. Right, so like if we put this in here, right, so it's not tuned right, but it sounds super cool. It's also like a nightmare. I kind of forgot how to do this. I have to enable MPE mode, and then I think I have to go open modulation panel for pitch. Was that it, or did I have to do something else? Pitch bend. I can increase the pitch bend to a max of 12 semitones. And so, yeah, the chords I'll explain in a sec. And so now I think if I did it right, I can go to MPE, unfold, you go, bam. Nothing's playing. That's sick. Right, I have to do more shit. I have to go, how do I do this? Get me out, Omni. Yeah, so like that guy. Never mind, it's not pitch bending. Or is it? It is. Which sounds kind of, it sounds fucking sick, I gotta say. But, it doesn't work with the tuning here, and I believe if I use micro tuner, actually I'm able to set the pitch gain range. No, what I do here is I have to hit pitch bend range settings, and I set this plus or minus 12 semitones to match the plugin, right? So now this value properly reflects like what it's actually pitch bending to. It's like cool, sounds great, but microtuner doesn't work with this because microtuner, I believe, always assumes that you could pitch bend the full span of the entire keyboard, whereas this is limited to be between like plus minus 12 semitones. So it would have to manually tune every single note, which that sucks. However, this does sound fucking sick, so. Wait. It's playing the right frequency. Never mind. It's just working. What did I do? Yeah, it works. Okay, I take it all back. I've had this for like a year and never. Oh, I'm like upset even though I got it to work. Okay, why do you work now? I guess it just works automatically with the Ableton retuning .ascl file. That's so fucking weird. Okay. Cool. Alright, I was complaining for no reason. Oh, neat. Nick says, where could I find a similar Udo drum loops? I don't know, I'll just look up Udo drum. I've just like ripped samples from Naughty Shauna's YouTube channel. Naughty Shauna, spelt like that. He's fucking cracked. Yeah, no, I'm using it now. That's massive. I've used this loop in so many songs. My entire Pork Soup EP, all the Udo samples are from like this loop and from just like ripping music from YouTube videos. So I would just recommend that. It's like a fun way to sample and stuff like that. Maybe it was an Ableton bug fix? Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's like 5 different steps that I had to do to make it so I could tune the thing. No, but yeah, before what would happen, like I was able to do the MPE pitch bending manually, but it wouldn't just work with the tuning file. It would still play in 12 Edo. Now we're in 23, which is weird. Okay, Gatito Letal, Gadidoletl. That's how you pronounce it. Gadidoletl. Gotcha. How did I write the chords? So we're in 23 notes per octave, which you might be like, that's terrifying. How could I ever write that? But I'm writing within a scale. So I've I know like a good bit of theory on like how to make interesting scales and stuff, but basically I created an approximation of like the major diatonic scale and then chose the Phrygian mode of it. So, and then shifted it such that the tonic is at F. And then when you do that, then you can just fold all your notes, and then you don't see the rest of the 23 notes. You're just working within 7 notes again, and then it's just very easy. And then you just write slowly, you know, and just like write with intention. And so like I think I just like kind of hunted and pecked to find like this kind of progression thing here. Right, and I'm making it so that, you know, we come back to the tonic on the downbeat because I wanted to make that intentional, and then we're playing a fifth and then a tonic above that. So this is just like a power chord essentially, you know. We're just playing like a really setting that the tonic is F, because like we're in a microtonal kind of weird key. It's also in Phrygian, so it's easy to lose the sense of where the tonic is. So I wanted to like super emphasize that. And then, I don't know, I just like stepped through it. I was just like, word, I wanted to like step up and stuff, and just kind of played around until I found something that sounded kind of cool. And then here, we do that tonic chord again, but now we got this little minor third thing played on top. And notice that like oftentimes when I'm writing, when you write chord progressions, chords come from counterpoint. Or not, they don't always do, but they can. And so generally here, I just wanted this to step down. And then this is works as a leading tone right before the fifth, and the fifth relates to the tonic, right? C is the fifth of F. And so this is like one tiny note, a leading tone right below that. So, you know, it builds tension, and then we go back and then resolve back to the original thing. But really, I was like, word, I want this kind of counter melody thing going. I just want a melody that has this kind of melodic contour, goes up all the way down, and then it just goes right underneath the tonic, and then it resolves back in. And then once you have that set up, then I don't know, you just like find notes beneath it that also sound cool. Generally, like, I don't know, like functional harmony and chord progressions and like everything in music theory kind of stems from historically counterpoint practices, right? So if you're like unfamiliar with counterpoint, I do think that this is like a very useful, doing this like upgraded my ability to like write chord progressions very quickly. But I mean, it's weird because we're in a weird fucking microtonal tuning. So like if we delete the tuning and we're like just in C major, right? We're just in C major. What you do is you have some melody that does this, right? Like you start off with some melody and it's gonna sound like that. Let's just use a fucking better sounding thing. Right? You have some melody, and then your goal is to write a counter melody on top where there's certain rules added, right? And you do this as an exercise to see if you can successfully write melodies that follow, counter melodies that follow these rules. Not necessarily because you have to always write with these rules. In music, there's no rules per se, but it trains your ear and teaches you like different techniques and ideas, right? And so the rules are, you're going to start like an octave apart. There's a bunch of different rules and you can look it up. And you generally, not always, but you generally want to travel in the opposite direction. So in contrary motion. So if this is going up, this should go down. If this is going down, this melody should go up. You want to avoid certain super dissonant intervals, right? So like B or D to B is a minor 7. I don't know. This is a sixth. I don't know shit. It's a sixth. Whatever. Like this is a major sixth. This is fine, right? Major six is like generally pretty consonant. There's also rules regarding like you don't want parallel octaves. So for in parallel octave, or not parallel octaves, parallel fifths. So if you playing an interval of a perfect fifth, which is this guy, you don't want both intervals to go up the same amount to create another fifth. Because if you create parallel fifths, you know, like a perfect fifth, you're basically constructing the harmonic series of a note below it, right? Basically, it's so consonant that it kind of glues together and sounds like one note. And if these both move together in the same direction, then you stop hearing two counter melodies and it just turns into one melody for a second. Now, again, you don't have to follow these rules at all when you're actually writing music, but this is just a practice to get good at it. It's just minor thirds and fifths. Well, major six is a minor third still, right? Because it's the opposite of a minor third, octave down. I don't know the actual rules of counterpoint all that well at all, but just like understanding principally what's going on has like taught me a lot. So like here, I would just like, okay, I'm just gonna step down in the same direction. It's like a major six, whatever. And then this is gonna go in the opposite direction. This guy jumps up a lot. Fuck it, I'm also gonna jump up. Not by a lot. This would create a perfect fourth. So I don't know, maybe under certain rules that wouldn't be allowed. But you'd get some here, we'll jump up again. It creates an octave. I don't know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter all that much unless you want to get really, really strict about composition and figuring out the actual rules if you want to like compose shit like how, you know, the greats in old classical music used to do it. But the premise is you want it to start on an octave, you want it to end on an octave. You want the contour of your melody to have one high point. Like notice that right here, it goes to its highest note right here, and then it climbs back down. And you generally always want it to climb down or climb up into the last note, right? So there's this like leading tone. And then these practices sounds cute, right? It works. It's whatever. And I unconsciously now like use some of that all the time. So like here, for instance, when we were talking about the chord progressions or whatever, when I was talking about leading tones, this B here works as a leading tone right before C, and while C isn't necessarily the tonic, it's a fifth above what I call my tonic, and it still like works. It just gives you ideas and also teaches you just about writing counter melodies. So a lot of chord progressions come from when you just do this counterpoint thing over and over and over again. Where did the other melody go? Did I delete it? So generally, like my understanding, and again, I'm not like super big massive music theory classical composition. Yeah, this is just voice leading. You keep writing counter melodies, you're going to end up creating chords, right? And the chords are going to be built in such a way that each of the voices naturally leads and creates another like thing. This is where voice leading and chords come from. So like functional harmony, or like the idea of like 5-to-1 chord progressions. My understanding is that comes entirely from counterpoint practices, because when you do a 5-to-1 chord progression, then all the notes just move by like one single little semitone, so it like resolves in this like kind of interesting and nice way. And then that gets culturally beaten into you over and over and over again, because you hear that in like all sorts of music, and then people end up kind of expecting to hear those types of resolutions and stuff like that. So everything like kind of boils down to counterpoint. Which can be an interesting practice, because a lot of times people will be like, I'm just going to start with the C major chord, and then I'm going to follow it with a 5 chord, and then a 4 chord, and then a 2 chord, and then we're going to go back to 1 or whatever, right? You could also just start with writing a melody, and then trying to find consonances above that melody, and then building chords from that. And mixing up all those practices work really well, I think. Especially, like if you want to get into like orchestration or whatever, which is to say, like, you have one voice, one melody doing one thing, and then you get an entirely new instrument playing in a different octave with a different, like, frequency profile that will play, like, a counter melody following similar rules of counterpoint to that other thing. And then those instruments working together, they're different instruments playing different lines, but they work together harmonically to create chords. It sounds more interesting. It sounds more like, I don't know, it sounds fucking cool. So... again, I'm not like, you know, I bought a counterpoint textbook and then promptly read like 2 chapters of it and then never again, because honestly I can't read music for the life of me. It takes so long for me to do it. But that's compositions come from experimenting rather than straight from the head, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a mix of both. Experimenting, finding out ideas that are cool, and then the head might be like, oh, you should do this next. That'll probably sound cool. And then you try it out, and maybe it's cool, maybe it isn't. Like, the head just kind of points you and where to go, but you're still experimenting and feeling out, like, what's gonna sound good or not. Classical music and melodies in general are about direction. Like, are you gonna go up or down next? Yeah, well, there's horizontal and then there's vertical aspects of both. So what's cool about counterpoint, in particular, is because, you know, you're going, okay, am I going to go up or am I going to go down? But also at the same time, you're thinking about, how does this compare to this interval here? How does it compare harmonically? Is this going to create like a super gnarly dissonance as it's climbing through? Because like the coolest part of this like old school counterpoint style is you have these super complex melodies that are like traveling, you know, stepwise, really slowly, not very far apart, but they constantly are working harmonically together and are constantly going through different chord shapes and creating cool consonances and building tension, resolving tension. Even though each of the melodies are simple, quote unquote, how it works together is like super interesting. So I don't know, when I got into that, I just literally just like spent like a single session just like working with like some given melody like this, and then just seeing, okay, what does it look like to write a counter melody where I want the voices to sound independent, right? And then you end up getting some shit like that. And it sounds cool. Right? Some shit like that. And that immediately just kind of like leveled me up and taught me a lot about wanting to add other voices. I totally forgot what this sounded like. I've been yapping for so fucking long. I deleted the tuning file. 23 Edo. Right, okay. I deleted so many things when I was fucking around. Yeah, of course. Like, mute that guy. You know, I never liked Bach, like, at all, honestly, until, like, 2 days ago. So organs are super cool, right? Like, an organ is just, like, a straight-up fucking, it's like a DAW. It's like a pipe organ is just a straight-up DAW, and you just, like, additively can construct synths or sounds or instruments by just adding different pipes up using, like, a big console. It's so cool. Anyways, I found this super fucking cool little thing here. Sounds sick. I want an organ so bad. And every single voice is like doing something simple. Also, his feet are doing a voice the whole time. He's got nice socks. And I'm very slowly becoming Bach-pilled. Very slowly. Have you ever wrote using chordal harmony? I've not. I don't really know that much about it, other than like it uses fourths or something. I don't know. It's foot music. Disgusting. Fetish shit. Gross. Degenerate foot music. Like in a church. The dude's like wife is like walking around carrying like a newborn baby, and he's like praising the Lord. It was like fucking disgusting foot freak. let's try to write a counter voice to this. I'm not crazy about how this sounds, but like, you know, we're just experimenting. You know, we're burning out. We're fighting the burnout. That's what you got to do. What do we want? What do we want this guy to do? Let's give it. I don't do filter envelopes like often enough. I don't know what the. And then let's make an instrument thing. Can we get an oboe? Sounds like a fucking like RuneScape instrument. So like, I mean, I've been like studying microtonal theory a lot, and a lot of people are like exploring chordal harmony or trying to figure out how like chordal harmony would work in different tunings. Like for instance, in 23 Ito, you have two different perfect fourths. Not perfect. You have two different fourths to work with. You have two different fifths and two different fourths, so you can approach like chordal harmony in a totally different way. But for the most part, no, I haven't explored chordal harmony at all. The way I think about it is pretty much just like basic triads and seventh chords. Like you can go a long way already doing that. Like in microtonal, like in 23 Ito, you have two fifths, right? You also have, I want to say, I think 4 thirds. You have a minor third, a major third, a super major third, and a sub minor third. So you have something that's sub minor, minor, major, super major. Then you also have 2 fifths. So just triads, you have 8 different triads to work with, right? Because there's 4 thirds and 2 fifths, so you have 8 different things. And then also you could stack 4 different types of thirds on top of the fifth to create different sevenths. And so now you have fucking 28 different seventh chords to explore. And just like working within that framework, you can get like really cool stuff. Like you create like a 7th chord and then just make it so that like the next chord's root starts at the 3rd of the previous one, and then just choose some arbitrary other 7th chord, and then, you know, just shift all the notes around by octave such that it ends up creating nice voice leading. And you just like keep doing that process, and you can get like really cool harmonies, and you can just like keep pushing that in weird ways. It gets like pretty, like, you don't really know where you're gonna end up, but it ends up sounding kind of logical. It's pretty cool. Anyways, what is this doing, man? Let's put. Make an acid on accident. Okay, let's what are we gonna do? We are, well, to begin with, here, let's delete all this shit. Move my scale all the way over. Let's delete all that, and then let's silence all of this. And then let's make this start off a 5th apart. And then since it goes up, I'm gonna go down. We should also fold this so that we're playing. Oh Lord. Just want to look at this. Show me my scale. God damn it. Right, this is my scale. I fold it, working just within the scale, right? And so this guy's gonna go up, and that goes up. I'll just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna do... You know what, fuck it, we'll just like... And like here, what if we just use this as like, just a leading tone, fuck it. That'll come later. We can put that guy there. This sounds like shit. the synth just sounds like shit. Orchestral stuff, Zimmer, no, not really. Like some inspirations from it. I definitely should though. And then this guy, we're actually gonna climb up in the opposite direction, man. Come on. Stop doing that to me. We'll go up, up. So this guy sucks. Does the oboe wavetable just sucks, dude. I've never gotten into it doesn't sound like oboes sound so cool. I don't know shit, man. I don't know anything. This is stupid as fuck. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Let's go back in the beginning. So loud, dude. I don't know anything. Oh god, it's so fucking loud. What am I doing, man? What? Do I want to do that? It's just this like weird tense fucking awful, bad, you know? Like here, let's just consolidate all this. And then let's transpose this up. What do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. I'm tired. I want to rage quit. I mean, this intro section is kind of cool. And then I'm at a loss already. this. And we could just turn this, yeah, into like a glitch hop thing. I mean, swing 16 is just kind of cheat codes for making a thing sound cool, right? I could just do that. We could just duplicate this thing over, and just like play around with like. Right, we just go like this, drop it to like 116, 136, whatever. And then I need to add sub bass or something. I hate everything right now. I guess we should consume. No, that's the same fucking thing. Why does that happen? Why is it so inconsistent? On it. Like shove all of this shit into the sub bass, and then what happens if we do this? Surprisingly tonal. And then take a spell book. And then spellbook, we'll map to the left, we'll map to the right, and then we'll set this both to the x-axis and invert one, reset, make the spin. And then we'll delay both sides. We need the high frequency content though on the voice scrambled version. Sounds like garbage. Let's take a break beat. Turn this down. And break beat. Give me. Fuck it. This guy. Take some other shit. Take this, whatever this is. You can add a lot of like high frequency noise actually, now I'm thinking about it, using ring modulation with like a really, really high, like if it's at 10 kilohertz, you're basically reflecting everything over 10 kilohertz. So you're just gonna add a bunch of like super, super ultra highs, right? Maybe like, hear me out, hear me out. Ooh, here's a cool idea for a rack. Okay, you get an auto filter. Auto filter is a notch filter, and then both frequencies are mapped to the same thing. And then we'll also map resonance here. Right, because without this, let's make a dry wet rack. This is actually a pretty cool thing I just figured out. Dry wet. And then this guy just frequency resonance. Ring mod band pass. So you could just like and now you can use probably like just a bunch of these in a series, right? Really cool way to add noise. Yeah. I like this. This is at least, you know what? We got something out of today's live stream. Weird. Yeah, this all sucks, and I'm not happy with it at all. So I'm not going to save any of this. But I don't know, we discovered something. don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, I could structure this into a song. I don't want to. That could just be me being burnt out. It's kind of... It's just not that good of a thing. I mean, I may as well save the project file, because, like, sometimes I think things are bad and not worth saving, even if they are actually good, but, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure on this one. The kind of bad, not worth saving, probably Gamelan. Expired. 3 Edo, 100 BPM.
Crazy song title, I know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I need to go outside, touch grass, and step away from the music for a little bit. Come back to this, figure out if this is actually good or not. I think I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, alright. Hey, what's up, other Lucas? Got me at a terrible time because I'm leaving. Haha. Yeah, I will stream again tomorrow. You know, y'all know the deal. You know what? Maybe if I'm feeling super spicy, I'll stream again tonight. Who knows? Me and